Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. Today we've got a lot to talk about, starting off with Precious Achiuwa. The Knicks did re-sign him on a one-year $6 million contract. I was looking at some articles to hear what beat writers had to say before I gave my opinion, and everyone's saying, oh, well now the Knicks have some insurance at the backup five. To me, this doesn't change anything, especially how I feel about the backup five. Achiuwa's a 4, guys. Yes, he can play some of the 5 in certain matchups, like Indiana. If we face them, he can play the 5. Orlando, he can play the 5, which is why I include those in there. But Achiuwa's a backup 4. He's going to back up Randle. He's 6'8", 243 pounds. I like him at his best when he's playing with another big. Him and Hartenstein was perfect. I think him and Mitch would be kind of weird, but also I think it could work. And then like Randle and Achiuwa, to me, is just, I don't think that makes any sense in the world. So I would like to see the Knicks go out there and bring in another big, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, somebody like that. I know it's not the sexiest names in the world, but just somebody who's an actual center, a true 5 that can rebound and defend the paint and things like that. So that's just how I feel. But I'm not going to take it away from Precious because he's as good as a backup 4 as it gets. I mean, he started 18 games for the Knicks last season. In the regular season, he started 2 games in the playoffs over that 49-game stretch, and he averaged 8.7 boards and 1 block a game, shooting 52% from the field. I like Achiuwa. I think he's a very smart player. He's only going to be 25 in September. Cannot stress that enough. He's a former first-round pick by Miami, 20th overall, and then he was traded in, 2021, following his rookie season to Toronto. Achiuwa was a big part of our team. He can rebound, he can protect the rim, he even shown the ability to stretch the floor at times. But to me, again, he's just a 4, so I would really hope that the Knicks have a plan at 5. I don't want the Knicks to trade for a center because teams have been using leverage to try to get us to overpay. For example, I heard some things talked about Miles McBride for like Nick Richards, and I was like, hell no, the Knicks, I don't see them ever doing that. I don't know why they would ever do that, but if that's what it's going to cost for a backup big, why would you do it? And I get that there's going to be a lot of people commenting, well, hang on a second here. Miles McBride's not even going to be in the rotation. Why not just trade him for a backup center who's going to be a huge part of this team? That's not true. It was reported that McBride is part of our 8-man rotation. So Brunson, Bridges, OG, Randle, and Mitch is our 5. And then our 6th man is going to be probably Dante DiVincenzo. Then 7th man, Josh Hart, and then 8th man, Miles McBride. Obviously, I don't work for the Knicks, so I'm just giving you my honest opinion, but that's who I think will be the top 8. And then now with Precious, we can put him at 9. 10, we can put Campaign, split him with Tyler Kolek. Who ends up playing point is going to be probably settled in camp. I have heard both sides. I've heard, and again, I'm saying from Knicks writers who work for the Knicks, I've heard that Campaign is expected to play a big role in the second unit, but I've also heard that Tyler Kolek's ahead of Cameron Payne, so I don't really know what to think of it when I'm hearing 2 different things. To this point, we'll have to just wait and see, and that's going to be the next rotation. I do think Keita Bates-Diop could end up playing a role if Tibbs does want to go deep in the rotation, and then outside of that, Pacome Gadi and Ariel Hukporti are just a little bit too underdeveloped to be able to contribute to the NBA roster. I do think Tyler Kolek, if I had to put money on it, will end up being eased into the season. That's why they brought in Campaign, to try to make sure that Kolek can get better defensively and understand that the NBA and how much different it is from college. So I'm excited about the Knicks. I think our future is set. Everyone's extremely young. The only 2 guys that are pushing 30 are Randle and Campaign. Everyone else is... Josh Hart, I think, is 29 as well, right? Yeah, Josh Hart's 29. He'll be 30 in March, but still, I mean, 30's young. If you're 30 in the NBA, that's the prime of your career. Not everyone's gonna make it to 40 like Lee Goat James, but if you're 30, man, I mean, that's really when you're in the best shape of your life and you're just completely developed. And I'm excited for the Knicks, truly. We have a lot of advantages to the construction of this roster thanks to the pay cut of Jalen Brunson, not to mention that Mikal Bridges is expected to take a similar pay cut to Brunson, which is great. We've got Devo and Hart under contract. Achiuwa's on a cheap 1-year deal. Miles McBride's on a cheap deal. OG did get the bag, which is kind of frustrating because he's an injury-prone player who is fantastic. And I posted a graphic yesterday showing our win and loss record when OG is in the lineup versus when he's out. It's pretty crazy. Would have been awesome if he took a little bit of a pay cut, but not everyone likes to do that. They just want the bag. That's cool. Mitchell Robinson eventually will need a new contract in the next few seasons, and then Randle has that player option, so he could either get extended or he could walk from the Knicks and take nothing, but I don't know why Randle would leave the Knicks and coach Tibbs. I just don't see a world where that happens. And it was reported that the Knicks view Randle very highly. They don't have any interest in trading him unless it's for a player that they view as better. And I don't think the Knicks view many players better than Randle. He's a guy that is the bully of our team, goes to the basket, is physical. He also showed when he was fully healthy. You take away the first 13 games when Randle was still getting back into shape and recovering from an injury. He was dominant. He was his most efficient self. He was giving the Knicks close to 30 a game, 10 boards, 5 assists, and he was efficient, shooting over 50% from the field. I like Julius Randle. I understand that we need him to win a championship, and I don't know why we would move him and mess with the chemistry. I just don't see it happening, and it doesn't look like anyone in the Knicks organization does as well. I think at his best, Julius Randle is one of the best players in basketball. He's all-NBA. He's a 2-time All-NBA, 3-time All-Star, and I'm excited to see what he can do for us. But in terms of Precious Achiuwa, awesome pickup, but the job is far from finished. We still need a backup big. Listing Achiuwa as the backup center on the depth chart, according to ESPN, yeah, it's cool. It's certainly better than Jericho Sims, but we still need someone reliable to be able to start for Mitch if and when he gets injured. Who that's going to be, I don't know. Maybe we end up seeing a trade before the season starts. Maybe we end up signing someone. But right now, I still think we need one more pickup, or really 2 more pickups. I think we need a backup big. And then I think also we need somebody on the wing. So Gordon Hayward, for example, I believe remains unsigned. Last time I guessed on that, they had been signed and I got called out for it. So let's see if Gordon Hayward got signed. Yeah, I don't think he has. So yeah, I think Gordon Hayward and let's just say JaVale McGee, like something like that, to me would put the Knicks in a situation where I think the roster would be pretty perfect. But yeah, outside of that, guys, let me know your thoughts in the video. Let me know if you agree or you disagree with my takes in this one. To me personally, I just feel like the Knicks are in a great spot right now. And it sucks that they haven't been able to get Jalen Duren or Walker Kessler or Nick Richards. But it doesn't take away from the fact that at full strength, the Knicks are going to be one of the more dominant teams in the NBA. They're going to be able to match up with anyone because they've got the defense. They've got OG and Bridges on the perimeter, Mitchell Robinson protecting the basket, and then you've got Devo and Hart and McBride too to be able to unleash defensively. And then offensively, you've got Brunson and Randle. You can go to Dante DiVincenzo, who's more of a two-way player. Devo is an incredible three-point shooter, but he's also a good wing defender. Precious Achiuwa is going to be able to give you a little bit of everything at 2 different positions. He's versatile. And then, Campaign, Tyler Kolek, depending on what we need. Do we need playmaking? Do we need somebody that can score, can shoot? I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like the Knicks have a lot of ways to beat teams, and it's going to be exciting to see what they do. But, yeah, if it were up to me right now, I would end up just rolling the dice on Jericho Sims. And if he doesn't produce or to start earlier in the season, if Jericho Sims does not produce early on to start the season, then I would consider making a move. But let's just see what he can do in that backup 5 role. And Precious Achiuwa will be able to mesh in well for Sims. And I like it, man. I like where the Knicks are at, to be honest with you guys.